Today's episode is brought to you by Bravenly Hydrate, because regular water is just not going to cut it. And the main brand sports drinks got stuff you don't need to consume. So I recommend hitting the link in the bio and checking out Bravenly Hydrate. Lemon lime is my favorite flavor, but I recommend checking out more of Bravenly products. It's really great stuff for your health and well-being. So hit the link in the bio to find out more about Bravenly products. Welcome to Men Are Forged Podcast. This is the podcast for men in their 20s and 30s who want to become great men. Today I have an important announcement that I have a new co-host, Bo Morgan, and I'm excited about bringing Bo in for us to discuss topics and address challenges that equip men to lead humbly and live courageously. So I hope we can encourage you to be more reflective and bold in everything you do and build towards a foundation of faith and leadership. Now for today's episode.
All right.
We in there?
We're in there.
All right. Wore my vest for you today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So nice.
Don't normally wear this vest.
Yeah.
So
very practical, right?
thought for you. Yeah. When you go outside, you're still not cold, because you're.
I mean, I like
vest.
wearing a vest. My wife likes me wearing a vest, but there's just something you're just like, what? I guess.
Yeah, what's the point? It keeps you a little warm.
Well, they always say, you don't really keep your extremities warm by putting stuff on. You keep them warm by keeping the core warm.
Right.
But,
and there's something to that, Cartwright. There's a lesson.
All right.
Cool. So we talked last week a little bit about this tension that we feel in acting and being still, and then knowing when to actually do something.
Yeah.
Right. And it's still something that what I continue to get out of it is the peace and just not knowing all the time, not trying to strike the balance perfectly. So I feel like it's a good segue because you sent me a really cool clip of David Goggins talking to Andrew Huberman.
Is that how you say it?
Is it Huberman or Huberman?
I don't know. It starts with an H, but
in Alabama it's Huberman.
Huberman.
Yeah. And I know people will probably know who David Goggins is. He is the, kind of mentally insane.
Yeah.
Navy SEAL who.
Yeah. Brace the suck guy.
Brace the suck.
Very. I think he has a world record for the most consecutive pull-ups.
Okay, so I didn't know that, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You also hear stories about him like running these ultra marathons with a broken femur and insane stuff. Anyway, he's been able to capture this ability of mental toughness that I think is kind of unfathomable in a way.
Right.
Anyway, he was talking to Huberman about how Goggins will go to events and he has all kinds of people reaching out to him now because he's well known, and he talks to a lot of billionaires, and a lot of these billionaires will come to him and say, "Hey, man, I'm still missing something. I've got all the money in the world. I've got everything that you could possibly imagine: pretty wife, houses, cars, whatever you need. I can get no limits there, but I'm still missing something on the inside."
Yeah,
and it's just. It's a thought, especially for guys probably in their 20s and the 30s, especially of, because a lot of us are super ambitious and we're always thinking, man, if I could just get this next thing,
right,
I'll feel better about myself. Yeah. Or if I can just find the relationship that I want to have, if I could just, man, I'm making this right now, but if I could just make this salary,
right,
I'll feel better about it. I'll feel better about things.
An external thing that should create something internal.
Yeah. And which when we talk about it, it's easy for me to say, yeah, it's totally not true. But tomorrow morning, I'll wake up and I'll think about, oh man, that would be really, really great if we could just get that, or man, gosh, I love that house down the street, man. If we could figure out a way to rent our house and get that house, we'd be good.
Right.
Or like, man, if I could just make this amount of money, we'd be good. And so on a much smaller scale, the billionaires are dealing with it, but certainly guys in their 20s and 30s are dealing with it.
Yeah.
But it's just such an interesting thought. It's still something that like our flesh can't constantly battles, and I'm just wondering, where does that come from?
I will say in my initial response is sitting there, it just shows there's a handful of things that no human is insulated from, whether you're rich, poor, old, young, married, single, male, female. It's like, one, like human beings, you're going to fail in life. It's like people that try to insulate and avoid failure, they're just delaying the inevitable, or ultimately they're really failing by not failing. But then I think there's something too of like, I think we're all searching for something. I think there is like a innate thing of, I think it's what led, our ancestors to come here, right? Explore this. It's wild. If you really want to like a thought exercise to just blow your mind away of just all the things in life that could hurt you or kill you. And then you think about 300 years ago, all the things that them trying to get over here on a ship, dealing with disease, no modern medicine, and then surviving people trying to kill you, harm you, steal
Well, I'm sure
from
when
you.
they got on the boat, they weren't even sure where they'd end up. There's no way for,
that thinking. And I do wonder if there's like always like you think about an Uberman, Huberman, excuse me, had a great little, I think their conversation is from his podcast. I want to say the interview was like a year ago. They did this. He was talking about this context of when you do hard things, when you challenge yourself, you are building a chemical in your brain that creates longevity, longer life, which to me, there's such a biblical message in that. But I think there's so therefore I think in the context of just human beings, when we really push ourselves, but I think it's going back to your question, but what's enough? Is that kind of where does it come from? Is that
because the billionaires are experiencing the same thing that we do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Then, because if you told me even now, but especially a couple of years ago, hey man, you're going to be a billionaire when you're 35.
Yeah.
My immediate thought is not, well, I still need to find, what my purpose is.
Right. Yeah.
My immediate thought is, oh, I'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm good. I don't have to worry about anything.
Right.
My wife she can stop working. We can raise kids at home. And when we get that, I won't need to come to Bible study anymore. I won't have any more issues. Like, you know what I mean?
Grass is greener.
That's naturally where my brain
The grass is greener.
You know?
Well, you would have thought also 20, 30 years ago that somebody like Brad Pitt had it all figured out. Mm-hmm. Money, fame, looks, women, whatever. Mm-hmm. The guy, not too long ago got out of rehab.
Yeah.
He had an alcohol addiction. So there was something missing in his life. So it's like there's this thing where that mindset, and somehow we insulate ourselves. This is going back to that challenging thing, allowing yourself to be challenged in your beliefs and your thoughts. Because what ends up happening, you can insulate yourself into believing it's the next thing that's going to satisfy.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think that goes back to ultimately what Goggins was trying to say. It's like you don't challenge yourself enough, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, or even, the obvious thing is spiritually, right? I think that if we're not having enough challenging thoughts and beliefs and even physical exertion, and I think Goggins is taking it from that standpoint, which I would say there has been many times when I have allowed myself to be pushed physically has led to a clarity of like, oh my gosh, I am tougher than I think I am. And not just physically, not just mentally.
Yeah.
Right? There's something that we're like, oh man, there's more in the tank than I think. And that's what one of the things he said was, there's 75% of you that's still there. That's not unlocked. That's been chained up. And people aren't willing to push to find that out. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And most of us think of that in the context of, you're right, what's going to get me to a place where I'm satisfied, or I'm happy, or I'm content, versus thinking it, I always hate to say it this way because as Auburn fans, we can't talk about Nick Saban, right?
Yeah.
But the way he preaches, and a lot of, I think, great leaders preach it, it's like get obsessed with the process. Get obsessed with what you enjoy doing.
Not so much the result.
The result. Yeah, you can be a prisoner to outcomes. But most of us are obsessed with the outcome. We want the outcome and then get the outcome. We're like, well, that wasn't that great.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean,
you know?
especially for the billionaire types and you brought up
Mhm.
Brad Pitt, made me think about this is those guys is probably more intense because when they get there and they start looking back and they start thinking, wait, I told myself I'd be happy when I reach this point.
Yeah.
You know, for guys in their 20s and 30s like us, it's like, no, we still kind of drive on that hope of, and so, you know, every day you kind of wake up still with that, hey, man, striving to get this thing. But once you get that thing and then you look back and say, oh, shoot.
Yeah. Which is
This
wild.
is not
It
it.
just shows we don't have enough older people in our life challenging our thoughts and beliefs. Because if we actually observe that older generation, there was something that came around during our dad's generation called the midlife crisis.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't because people lacked money and resources.
Mm-hmm.
There was an internal thing that they were missing.
Yeah.
The midlife crisis is a thing. It came up, you know, it had to deal with spending a car, overspending, whether a house, car, to addiction, to affairs, to, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was all because they were missing something. So they tried the next craziest thing and they end up sabotaging their life, right?
So they're just looking for really anything to fill that void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we could, as me and you, as followers of Jesus, could just shout. It's like, well, Jesus is the only place that fills that. But I think for some of our listeners, it's like they would say they're believers.
Mm-hmm.
People out there would say that, have that thought, or, oh, I go to church every day, or I actually do profess to be a follower of Jesus, and I still have that feeling.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, so what does it mean to actually find Jesus? And I think it comes down to that mindset that Goggins was trying to hit on. It's like, okay, well, what are you putting in your life that you regularly are pushing yourself, challenging yourself, growing, building something that's not about the outcome?
Yeah.
You get, I'm trying to think some of the language he used. Obviously not all the F words.
Yeah, some bad language. We'll put the link, though, so where people can watch it. Just don't watch it around other people.
Yeah.
You can. It's it is interesting because Goggins, I'm not sure, is Goggins spiritual? I'm not familiar enough or a Christian.
I don't think so.
But what he's saying is, so what he's talking about in the clip is like, well, you need to break through and I guess do more, like to expand your mental toughness is kind of his whole MO, right?
Right. Because in that, you'll find a version of yourself you didn't know was there.
Right.
The part that you think is missing is in there.
Right.
That's what you're not realizing.
So do you agree with that? So seeing it spiritually the way we do as Christians, like, do you agree with what he's saying? Is like, you just got to tap more into your potential. Yeah. I guess potentially is what he's saying, right? I
mean, we kind of word it as our identity in Christ, and we kind of put a glossed over Easter Sunday version to it, but I think that is a very deep, exploratory word that will take a lifetime, if not eternity, to really discover.
What word?
Identity. Our identity in Christ, who he made us to be, who he designed us. Yeah, that unfortunately, what most of us hate is only going to come out through pressure. That's why I love I use the phrase "men are forged." Like, it's like there's something to the hammering, the beating of life that if we all had it today, we would dismiss it. We wouldn't understand it. We wouldn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
If it all happened today and we fully understood it. Mm-hmm. But if we, through life, start through the shaping and difficulties and the pain and the unknowns and the frustrations, when we actually like that stuff, who we are really starts coming to service more. Because, I mean, I would say 10, 15, 20 years ago, right, as a young man, I thought it goes to the whole void. It's like, oh, well, once I become, as a kid, I'll be an NFL football player. Yeah. And that's what the best expression of me is. It's like, well, I come to find out I'm nowhere near the athletic ability to become a professional athlete.
You still got it.
I don't like this shoulder. I can't really agree with you.
Yeah.
or I'll be, this will be my contribution to society. I get this profession and I become this person that I've already seen before.
Mm-hmm.
We look around. It's like, that's why I love Hebrews. Do not look to the right or to the left, but fix your eyes on Jesus and run the race with perseverance. It's like we constantly are looking to the right and to the left. Like, okay, that guy looks kind of successful. That makes sense to me. I'll just, go get a med school degree and become a doctor. Or my dad did this. So, and that's no offense to anybody who's done those things. I'm not trying to, but I would say sometimes we try to take our idea of who we are and we shove it in a round peg, square hole kind of thing.
Yep. Well, it's too. I mean, it's the question that, like, so Bo, like, man, if you knew the answer, if you didn't have to struggle or like wrestle with things daily, would you still need that relationship with Jesus?
Exactly.
And he's a relational God who doesn't value necessarily like accomplishing things with you. I think he does. You know what I'm saying? I'm oversimplifying the point, but no, dude, I want to know you and I want you to need me and I want to do this with you. But if you knew all the answers and you didn't have to struggle, then would you still come to me?
Exactly.
And I would.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
just to be honest, like my pride would seep in and it does constantly. Like if I experience some success, like you have that thought in the back of your head where like, oh wait, I think I got this. I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I've got things figured out.
Yeah. And then, and so you can see that natural shift away, and that's not. He doesn't want that. So I'm not saying he berates us with struggles. I don't understand that fully. Like, does he allow things to happen? I don't know. I don't know. Like, there's some deeper theology there that I'd love to hear your thoughts on. But like, there's extreme value in me having to go and get on my knees daily and be like, God, what, how do I need to handle this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I need you with me while I do this.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is. Last night, like I had a great day at work yesterday, and I can kind of relate. I mean, literally, this happened yesterday. Had a great day at work yesterday. Our company's growing, and it's doing really great. And I love the people I work with. And you kind of get that thought, you got things figured out. It's like, all right, I'm going to go home, put my feet up. Kind of got this. And then our pipes were backed up, so like we had like water coming through. Like I'm not saying I'm not saying that God did that, but it is like, man, it's always my son, my 10-month-old has chicken pox right now. You know, I mean, it's just like Anyway, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but I think it's the constant struggle.
I would say in our modern world, especially our Western, maybe modern world, we do try to insulate from pain.
Yeah,
we getting the next thing is that raise and money insulates us from that. But really, there's a I'm trying to think of the scripture, but there's like a treasure in the end of on the other side of stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Some moments like that at home where me and my wife become closer because of that.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you think from a relational, a spiritual, and it sounds like according to Huberman, that there's a physical, chemical thing that happens in our brain when we choose to, in the midst of the hard, to press in, to
embrace it in a way.
To embrace the challenge, the difficulty, I mean, obviously we're growing closer to God and those around us, but then then part of our brain is responding to that stuff and growing and becoming more resilient, and we learn lessons and we get to reflect on it. But a lot of people see challenges of pain. It's like, all right, well, let me just go numb and work, see if I can get the other side. It's like, well, no, the gold, the treasure is in the actual thing, doing that, the hard part.
Yeah.
I think that's what, as young fathers, both me and you are, I think there is something to it. It doesn't feel very masculine for me to get on the floor with my toddler and play with him. Blocks or
Cars
or whatever. It feels very childish. But for me, so what's the fruit of me choosing either one or the other? Well, me getting on the floor with them is like I'm looking him in the eye, and he knows his dad, and he's seeing his dad actually engage with him on a level at this age when I don't see necessarily the fruit of it yet. It's like that's what I think most fathers miss is there's like, oh, that's not very masculine. So I'll wait till he's older and I can throw the ball with him or something. It's like, well, that son is going to be very resistant to doing those things with you if you hadn't done it in his first 4 years of life, where his brain is developing, where he's actually, you're building a level of connection at that age where they grow the most in their entire life in the first 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And they're actually learning you and understanding, because those little things, those little kids, it's insane how intuitive God has designed us. Going back to Huberman, and it's wild how science is now picking up on more and more of that. So anyway, those and I'm not necessarily calling that a challenge, but that is probably a challenge for a lot of men. It's like willing to engage with our kids when we don't necessarily see the benefit initially.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that's rewiring our brain, that's bringing to light. And anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. I saw, you might have been the one to tell me this, how kids, really young kids from 0 to 4 or whenever the exact timeline is, I saw something that said that those kids spell love, Time.
Yeah.
They want your time.
Yeah.
They want your attention. And probably as men, it's like, well, a lot of men don't need that from others, and so they don't think to reciprocate to the kids that way. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. So for the guys in their 20s and in their 30s, what are some things that you've seen work, like in your kind of like daily habits, or like what are some things that they can do, you think, to like maybe like resist the thinking of like, oh man, if I just had this, or if, like I wonder what.
Yeah, I think there's a way to like. It's wild because I love, me and you both love. We love sports. I love watching sports documentaries.
Yeah,
you watch like The Last Dance.
Oh yeah,
and there's
that's the best one, by the way, right?
Oh yeah,
it's got to be.
I would think so. I mean, a 10-part documentary. I mean, it's very nostalgic to the info, to Jordan, right? All of it. Anyway.
Yeah, incredible. And Birmingham, he was in Birmingham.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it too. He was a Bear.
I saw him hit a game-winning walk-off home run. Wow.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Isn't
that wild? Yeah, he did. And he batted like 240 maybe.
God,
I don't know.
That's impressive. There's no way.
Seriously.
I mean,
oh yeah, if any other human tried to walk out right now and hit a minor league pitcher, let alone a minor league pitcher, we get we get really
no chance. Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Yeah. But so there's something too when I watch that, and you're like, man, that dude. There's a lot of pain that came with in stuff that we think about, like, oh, I wish I had that, like the fame, the money, all that stuff. And there was a great moment actually in it. I think I may have talked about it last time. Or I've talked to somebody about this.
Where he lost his father?
Well, no, where he's in the hotel room and there's thousands of people in the lobby and he's just sitting there with a cigar laying down. Like, I can't even walk into a bathroom without somebody trying to get something from me.
Yeah.
I can't have anybody around me unless I'm paying them. Yeah. Like there's he couldn't have a pure of a relationship with somebody for just, because everybody's trying to get something from him. Anyway. But my thought was, with it going back to your thing, so that's just another example of what we're talking about. You think the thing that you want that's going to make everything, there's people have had it and they're missing a lot.
Right.
But him, I was thinking about in the context of just mastery. The guy just mastered what he did.
Yeah.
Like his obsessiveness. And I don't think anybody should necessarily be that obsessed with something earthly as much as he was. But it's impressive how everybody said there's a lot. He is definitely one of the more talented basketball players. But there's a lot of talented guys that come to the NBA that are not nothing.
Yeah.
Even scratch the surface. But he was upset about his skill. Anytime somebody gave him a hard time about something, his skill set, you know, he would throw it back at him, trash, but he would then go work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And his weaknesses would become his strengths.
He had a long memory too.
Yeah, long memory.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I would say for a lot of guys, it's like, all right, what am I mastering in my life? Maybe it is becoming a husband and father.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is.
And that's a good answer, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Like, I mean, it's like the answer doesn't have to be, I'm going to go be the best, whatever you are, real estate agent, or whatever you are that there ever was.
Right. But there's something in my life, am I really getting like joy from, I hate to use the word obsessive because because when you think of the word obsessive, it's something that takes you away from the things that matter, right? But is there something that I'm waking up every day, I'm like, ooh, think about how can I get better at that, or how can I do that better? Or I think that's always that, how to lean into those challenges, how to lean into, not avoiding some of the harder things and allowing, because really when you want to master something, you do it, you fail, you reflect on it, you get better.
Mm-hmm.
You keep, and there's a resilient thing that your muscle you're building in your brain, or there's an actual chemical for it, right? That creates longevity in our life. But I think there's something about that, that belief that it's like, okay, I'm getting great at something here.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that takes your whole life, man, I'm trying to think of an example. I mean, there's guys that didn't feel like they really started doing that until they're in their 50s.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I hate that. I hate that thought process. I'm closer to that now than I was, but there is, I think, something too for, I think, a practical of like, how can I think around maybe not a Jordan level, but a higher intensity of, all right, I'm getting really good at something and it's adding value to either another person or human beings in general. I think that's really what you think about. Like, man.
Well, it could also be, for guys in their 20s, it could be, or 30s too. It could be, no, right now I'm learning that when I fail, I'm learning to get up and do it again or try again. Or I mean, I've always struggled with that. I've always had the thought, like in my 20s, is like, that I tried this once, it didn't work out.
Yeah, let me go.
Not for me. This must be God telling me it's something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily true. It could be that I'm learning to try again and learn, like you said, from what happened last time. Whether it could be something in your personal life, your spiritual life, or your work life.
Mm-hmm.
No, right now I'm in a time where I'm learning to keep trying.
Yeah. And that's what's wild is if we really reflected on every person that's successful, there is a lot of versions of success out there that we've seen, right?
Yeah. There's no cookie cutter. This is how you do
There's
it.
the goal oriented, like I said, obsessive. There's also the people that, but they all have one thing in common, right? It's like when they failed forward versus stay put or fell backward. Right.
That's perfectly within our control too, right? I mean,
how you respond,
right?
Yeah. That's the thing, and it's like, I mean, it's not for the faint of heart, man. Like, I feel like definitely 100% that I've failed more in my life than I have than I've succeeded. But you just kind of like, man, how do I just keep going forward? I guess. And that's what resilience looks like. We think resilience is, getting punched in the face and keep going. But I think a lot of times resilience is like, man, I just got my butt kicked.
Yeah. And I'm embarrassed.
And I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated.
I don't feel like I stack up.
It's like, I guess, but I'll get up tomorrow and I'll keep going.
Yeah.
I'll try something else, or I'll try another avenue, or I'll reflect on why did I fail and who do I need to know and what relationship I need to build going forward from that,
There's a guy on LinkedIn, I don't know his name, you'll probably know what I'm talking about, but he runs around and he interviews people that look rich or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know his name.
He's all over LinkedIn. He's everywhere. And his question is always like, were you ever broke? And I haven't seen one yet where they say, no, I was never broke. There's always a story. Oh, yeah. I was at rock bottom 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The difference in those people are they pick themselves up and they try it again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they learn from it and they try it again. And I would imagine, like, if you talk to anybody that we call successful, right? They have money and great family and stuff like that. I bet they all have that story.
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's wild to think about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was single for the majority of my adult life, right? Didn't meet my wife until I was 36. You know, like, yeah, I failed in the single. Like, I think about it, I was like, man, I really, lots of blind dates, lots of setups, lots of random, like, perfectly nice women, or I got rejected. I got rejected a lot. Like, dealing with that, it's like, man, why would I ever do this?
Yeah.
Why would I keep going at this? It's like, oh, well, there's someone on the other end of it.
Right.
So,
yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's wild. We could sit here and talk about this subject because this is going. I think I may have said this last time, Bo, but there is, like, God wired us all so differently, and so therefore, I think a young man's version of resilient, hardworking is that grinder. Works 12-hour days, and it just doesn't all look that way.
Yeah.
And I would say, as you're trying to figure out, all right, God, I really feel like you put me on this earth to be great at something, or to master something, or find really joy and contentment in the doing part. How do I, what does that look like?
Mm-hmm.
Does it look like just being present constantly with people? Is it building a relationship with somebody who you feel like's already done it? Or a couple of steps ahead. I mean, it doesn't have to look like you just being I hate to say a hard ass, David Goggins version of resilient.
Right.
What does that look? And that's, I think, part of, like, maybe the thing to partner with in the midst of going after and being great at something is always, and challenging yourself is always, all right, what does this look like? Building as you're going. How do you get what I'm saying? I'm trying to find the words to partner with that. It's like going back to, I guess, the doing and the rest piece. That there's, how do I actually do it in a way where I'm not sacrificing what my core values, what really matters to me. This may be part of my core values, going after something, but am I neglecting family? Am I neglecting my health? There has to be truth held in tension always.
Yeah, well, I would say, I mean, if you're someone that is experiencing a similar struggle, one that you just described, where you're trying to figure out, hey, how do I fall forward? How do I keep? I would say probably, by outside looking in a little bit, just at other people's lives, and I know in my life too, but I'd say you're probably on the right path.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like in trying to find the right path and struggling on that, you're on the right path already.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and just thinking that way and trying to figure it out. I have a lot of empathy for the people that try to figure this out without God and without Jesus.
100%.
Because, man, that's got to be a lonely place to be, where it's like, it's just me. I believe that I'm going to only be here for 80, 100 years or whatever it is, and then that's going to be it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to find this happiness, how to find, purpose, if that's even a term you can use for people that don't believe in God. But, like, there's something here missing, and I'm striving to figure it out, and I have nothing else to look to. I mean, that's got to be an extremely lonely place. And so if you're like us and you're in your 20s and 30s and you haven't figured it out and you're experiencing that struggle like Cartwright's describing, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Right. And maybe not even a start.
Yeah.
That's a good place to be, probably for a long time.
Yeah.
But get comfortable being uncomfortable that way, because that's Christianity, really.
Yeah.
Really, it's like, not completely, but there's definitely a piece there where it's like, we're not made for this place necessarily. If we want to get real deep, I don't know if we want to get real deep.
Yeah,
that kind of is the core of it. I feel like is like, well, this isn't my home, and so trying to, like you said, trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. I feel like as Christians, that's really a struggle that we're all going to deal with, because really you are.
Yeah.
You know, you're a square peg and this is a round hole here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the midst of the whole challenging piece of it is like, yeah, oh man, what was the thought I just had? It was, but yeah, to your point that, yeah, oh man, I had that thought just drifted away. But anyway, Bo, you hit on a great point. I'm with you. Like at the end of the day, that struggle could be the pain of it, that the joy, what we're seeking for at the end of the day could be in the next life. And are we okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, we could go, I mean, when we're actually spending time with Jesus in heaven, he could be like, hey, that was the whole point right there.
Yeah.
You know, you trying to figure it out was what I was
using. Did you, midst in the struggle, choose me?
Yeah.
Did you become great at that?
Right.
It's like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is something I have, in the midst of a lot of regret and frustration and failure, I'm like, I feel like I've had that question come up a lot in me of, am I okay without the result that I think I want?
Yeah, exactly.
Am I at the end of the day, I get before God, and did I steward what's been given to me? Was I true to my core values and who God made me to be? And did I choose him above all else, to know him deeply? It's like, crap, but I want the results.
Yeah, I want both.
Yeah.
And what's
I want
confusing
those
is sometimes people get it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people get it.
100%.
And so it's like,
whether deserved or not, like they get it. Yeah.
So it's
and the deserved, sorry, that's a whole other topic, but like the whole language of that is nonsense.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I was kind of being funny.
But I think when you kind of go through what we're talking about as Christians, when you are, like we said, trying to figure out purpose, and especially as young men, like, how do I lead well? How do I be successful so that the people around me are comfortable and safe and stuff like that? I mean, that's ultimately what we're trying to do, and create a safe and secure environment, you know, at home for my wife and my kids. And anyway, I think if you continue with that kind of being, hey, that's actually what I'm striving to do, and God, please protect me from all these other opportunities that I'm chasing that don't include you. You know what I mean? Like, I can go down this path and maybe it looks good and bright and shiny, but Lord, please don't go. I don't want to go there without you, please. Yeah. Because I know me, and you know, I'll last about 6 months, and then I'll be in Cartwright's office asking what happened to me. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh man, I mean that could be a whole topic in itself.
Might be getting off topic a little bit, but
because when that thought process, most people want to go is to a binary place, right? Like, well,
successful versus not successful,
or doing the things with God or of God. Like, oh well, I guess that's just me reading my Bible and going to church. People have done that. You know, there's all these denominations from Christianity where they don't even engage in certain sports because they think it's not of God.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think Pentecostals one. We've known people who, like, because there's collision, oh, that's violence, so therefore that's not of God. People can't be a Christian and play football.
Yeah.
You're like, that's nonsense.
No, if you're a Christian, you should play football.
Yes. I knew a lot of Christian men through the game of football, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's like, some people take that belief, actual, and then you get the other way. It's like, well, like, I mean, I knew somebody who misused the verse that Jesus said, well, given to Caesar and Caesar and God's God's, meaning like, oh, 6 days a week, I could just do whatever I want. And then the seventh day I'll go to church. Right. That people take that to extremes when really, like, this is it's a partnership mindset. Like, delight yourself in the Lord. He'll give you the desires of your heart. Like, okay, there's that verse, right? Yeah. But then commit your way to the Lord and he will guide your steps. Like, that tension, you know? Of like, okay, I'm figuring this out. I may not be 100% of the time. I may not bat 1,000. I may bat more like Jordan.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, that's my heart, and my desire is to be in partnership with him and co-labor with him. And I won't always get that right either. Yeah. But am I challenging that thought process that makes me think I'm taking the wheel? I got it.
Right.
Or am I constantly pulling off the side of the road? I'm sorry, God.
Yeah.
you drive.
Well, pulling off the side of the road and allowing him to drive is a muscle that you probably have to build.
100%.
Right? Because it's not the natural tendency.
Mm-hmm.
As men, we want to control.
But going back to what I was talking about earlier, just because you put Jesus in the driver's seat doesn't mean it's going to look like your version of success.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I meant coming back of like, the outcome may not be there like you want.
Yeah. So
but
Jesus, what is success to you?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And if we knew the answer, I guarantee you, if I knew the answer, I'd be like, I don't really like that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Or what you do is, oh God, you want to take these back roads all the way around to get there.
Right. Dude, you can just go right there.
Let's get, like, it's right there. Like, just, why are you going over there? Well, I want to show you something.
Yeah.
I want to teach you something along the way. You're not ready to get it now, but I want to take you around. You know?
Yeah.
I promise you're going to look back and like, that was more beautiful.
Yeah.
But we want, no, I mean, it's right there.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mentor a guy. His name's Khalifa, and he's at school. He plays football at Appalachian State right now, and he got hurt at the beginning of the year this year. He had ankle surgery, and so it's so funny when you're like giving other people advice, how much easier it is. You know what I mean? And then like as I'm giving him advice, it's like looking in a mirror, coming right back at me.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But something him and I were working through this fall, because he wants to play and he wants to be. To him, success is I want to be 1,000-yard rusher and I want to score 20 touchdowns. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then I want to play in the NFL. I want to do those things, and all really good. I think there's value in having those goals. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's value in having those goals. But through this year, it's been really cool to see where he's transforming a little bit. You can see him growing up and maturing and being like, well, actually, hold on. That was my idea of success. What am I getting out of this period of time that's going to help me in the future well beyond football? And it's, hey, you know what? That actually wasn't, my plan wasn't necessarily, had I had my plan, had I rushed for 1,000 yards or for me or anybody else that's getting a great job that pays you a ton of money, if I had just followed my path, I wouldn't have learned any of the things that I've had to force myself to learn. And kind of, it's almost like developing the ability in a way to where when you're in a tough time, like Khalifa experienced when he wasn't able to play, it's like stepping away from that, looking at it at your own situation from the outside in, and being like, wait, hold on, let me dive into this right here and see what I'm actually, what God is forging in me. You know what I mean? Like, what is this uncomfortable season teaching me right now? And he's done a great job of that, and it's been cool. He has so much peace, and anyway,
which is what he'll take within the rest of his life.
Exactly.
Versus,
and so,
hey, I was 1,000-yard rusher.
Yeah. And I mean, that's just like a super practical example. But for me, it's, hey, great job giving him that advice, Bo. But hold on, what's God doing in me right now?
Yeah, right.
This situation's different, but it's the exact same. It's the exact same for all Christian men, I feel like, especially as you mature and get older like we are. But what am I learning right now? Like something that I wanted to work out didn't work out. Well, building the muscle to be thankful for that it didn't work out versus being upset. And, so anyway, that's like something that I've been learning this year is what you said before. It's almost like working out. I don't work out, by the way. But it's working a muscle in your brain or in your spirit to kind of see things from the outside looking in, and even when things aren't going well, you're still developing. And for men that need progress, well, there's some progress for you. I mean, I constantly need progress. I need the next thing. Well, there's my progress. That didn't go the way you wanted it to go, but here's what I taught you because of it. So,
which I think they call that maturity, wisdom. Right? Why the difference between knowledge and wisdom is experience. right?
And a lot
you
of
actually turn that, you know.
a lot of sessions sitting with Cartwright, venting about my feelings.
Yeah. Well, man, like I said, like growth doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? It doesn't happen trying to
You
figure this
can't
out
do
on
it by
your own.
yourself.
No.
Definitely not.
Yeah, man. Well, this is
Fun.
good, Bo. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, going back, I had the thought of, like, just thinking about, like, you know, you constantly hear about guys who played 10 years in the league and who had all that success, all those goals, and the thing that they struggle with is, oh, what happens about life after football
Mm-hmm.
when I don't have that structure? Because at the end of the day, that's what they created. Like, oh, I miss the relationships. Oh, I miss the structure of that gave me rhythm in my life. It's like, oh, that's what was good. It wasn't necessarily
Scoring a touchdown,
even winning the Super Bowls. Like, people say they miss being on the bus after a win or the plane.
Yep.
They miss the regularly working out with guys. Being, it's like, it's
and
wild.
You hear coaches say, I think Nick Saban said that's the thing he misses is the process and the people and finding the right people and it was pretty good.
And it's like, oh wow, now I got to figure this all out by myself.
Mm-hmm.
There's no one here to help me.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of people trying to help me get to 1,000, 1,500 yards, right? It's that's wild.
It's wild.
So anyway,
I
think this was good, Bo. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you for listening to Men of Forge podcast. If you like this podcast, please check us out on YouTube or follow us on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen. Really thankful for y'all listening, joining me and Bo. We'll continue to have more of these conversations. And make sure you click the link in the bio to find out more about what we're doing here at Men of Forged.